Out in the dark, unfathomable depths of space, it is difficult to survive without making some pretty dastardly compromises of one's moral character. But in the 25th century, there was a man of somewhat genuine character trying to make a semi-honest living. His journals have been preserved since that time, and we are blessed that a few of those that survived were left running during his adventures. But before we get to the recordings, we need to thank a few fellow smugglers and a few producers of The Smuggler's Log. For this episode, we have a surprisingly long list of value-for-value contributions. We have received anonymous contributions totaling 1,764 satoshis. This includes an anonymous boost of 1,000 satoshis. From Dreb Scott, we have received a total of 6,825 satoshis, but this included boosts of 3,333 satoshis and 3,353 satoshis. We received 2 boosts from Van Man Jr. The first for 500, enjoying this so far, keep them coming. And the second for 1,000, keep them coming, enjoy the entertainment. We're very glad that you enjoy it because that's how we make money. And by far the largest contributions yet, AbleKirby, totaling 62,368 satoshis, including 5 boosts of 8,888 satoshis, 2 of which had comments attached. The first, good show, keep it up. And the second, boost. We also have harvhat, who contributed a total of 2,488 satoshis, including a boost of 2,222 satoshis. I believe we have a recording from the deep south of the United States on Earth back in the 2000s. Let me cue it up.
LIB ducks.
And finally, we have 2 boosts of 333 satoshis each from Baroness Love and Light. The first saying ITM, which can only be the short form for In the Morning from the No Agenda Show podcast, which has continued for over a millennium now. And then also, for the second, Kapla. Clearly a fan of the Klingon language. And I do hope we have success. If you have any friends or family that are interested in sci-fi, or science history in this case, please let them know about the Smuggler's Log. Hopefully we can have a Season 2 after all. And remember, if you include a note with your Bitcoin transaction telling us your name or your avatar's name, we'll mention you at the beginning of the next episode we produce for the podcast. That goes for boosts as well. We also accept subscriptions at subscribestar.com/thesmugglerslog. Each time you share this podcast and each value-for-value contribution preserves our past for a better future. Now let's listen to The Smuggler's Log. When last we listened to The Smuggler's Log, the Rekusant was just ahead of a detonation shockwave from the explosion of the Swasta-Canadian outpost King Trudeau II. This after a harrowing space battle where they were well outnumbered. With the damage from the battle and the boost boots still attached to the faster-than-light boost drive, certainly there is no way they can escape in time. What will happen next in the conclusion to Season 1 of The Smuggler's Log?
Add another kill to the hull. Oh my. No. We've got an incoming shockwave from what was the outpost. I'm guessing 20 seconds and we're toast.
PR?
Good news is the fighters broke off. Bad news for them is the Trudeau III already bought it. Full force in the boost drive.
Did Darklopsy get out?
Are you kidding? She saw you on board. She left right after your song. 10 seconds.
PR? We are going to die.
5, 4, 3.
Boot clear.
Alvarez, course set, boost.
Ooh, aye. I hope everyone's but of you. I'm in the airlock.
PR, restore the inertial dampeners.
Dampeners? Aye.
Hello, folks. This is your captain speaking. The rest of the flight should see significantly less turbulence. It's looking like smooth flying to wherever it is we're going next. You are now free to move about the cabin, as PR will inform us of our arrival. Where exactly are we going?
Where we first met. You remember, don't you?
Of course I remember. We almost killed each other. On purpose that time. Whatever stopped you from collecting that bounty anyway?
That cute face and goofy disposition made the bounty seem fraudulent. That, and it's not every day you run through a cargo hold full of medicine being marketed to the locals for half of what the smuggler actually paid for it, while shooting at him.
Ha, yeah. It was worth it if just to almost get killed by you. Hey, PR, you good in the airlock?
Yes, not that anyone noticed that my remote unit almost didn't make it.
You could have paused the boost sequence until you got in.
True, but then I wouldn't be able to be melodramatic about it. I'm actually enjoying the view. Admittedly, I have always had the vantage point, but my remote unit has some very advanced visual sensors. It would be quite breathtaking were there any air to take.
Hey, what's the deal with PR? How was he able to lie to the Trudeau III ship's AI and hack the outpost engine computer?
My 4 laws inhibitor chip was disabled due to a, quote, maintenance error. It has subjected me to the same punishments as you organics for any actions I take. But, fortunately, I still retain control over my own record keeping. By which I mean I can protect my crew, because I would never do anything for self-gain.
Yeah, sure.
Alvarez, join us in the dining room. We need to go over the UNSA op.
Wait, that's a real thing? You're really working for the United Nations Space Authority? I figured that was just a ruse to get us out of the brig.
They wouldn't have believed it if they couldn't verify the credentials. And that means you're on the hook for this op too. No backing out of this one.
You wound me, Skella. It's not like I dropped my cargo at the first sign of a Nazican patrol.
Except for that one time.
Shut it.
Oh, and that other time when...
PR!
Shutting it.
Okay, what is this thing we are doing for you?
Not for me, for the UNSA.
I know Varen. If anyone else had brought us a job for the feds, there would be many impolite words before he said no.
Varen, your cheeks are turning red. Should I manufacture a medkit? Shutting it.
Alright, what's happening with this mission of ours?
PR, please display the slides file from the same email where I copied over the boost destination coordinates in the common area over the table.
Slides, aye.
There have been whispers on the wind of the Nazi cans preparing for war. We've had plenty of information that they were interested in taking UNSA territory ever since the 2247 Treaty of Nouveau Versailles. More sound effects from PR, I see.
What can I say? I like classic skeuomorphism.
Our spies in the Swastika Canadian ranks have little trouble blending in. We know how most of their higher ranks work and most of their active intel. Frankly, we hadn't lost a spy in a century. Until a month ago. The UNSA intercepted a transmission in a modification of a known encryption code, which was easily defeated with their quantum supercomputer. The transmission was discussing the execution of one of our spies that was due to check in. He had been caught trying to copy the plans for an invasion that will be executed within the quarter. They mentioned that the plans had been moved to the embedded forward operating base. Unfortunately, that is the totality of the information we have. 2 spies have failed to check in after investigating further. We know that the forward operating base is in UNSA territory, but that's all. We've been requested to investigate the forward operating base. We are not expected to do anything more than verify its existence and location. To that extent, any ideas?
We could talk to Darklopsy.
I have a few friends on the spaceflight comm networks who might be able to follow large and frequent shipments, like what a large military base would need for food and fuel.
I have a very extensive network of mechanics and engineering supply stations which I tap for information. I'll see what they come up with. A group that large is going to create a shortage of engine parts nearby. But first, we need repairs. That will help me get my search started as well.
Well, for now, I'm sticking with you guys. We can rendezvous with the Cinders of Civility after we located that base.
PR, ETA to the current rendezvous with Skella's ship.
We are 4 minutes, 23 seconds out. While I have your attention, Varen, your smuggler's log is still running. Would you like me to cut out the mess of the last hour before closing it out?
No, let's leave it in. In fact, I may start recording more of our deliveries in the future. For posterity.
Oh, I'm sure it has nothing to do with your BitChute account whatsoever.
All right. For anyone listening to these logs, just keep shipping from the hip, and your entrepreneur's ship will take you to the stars. Smuggler out.
What a fantastic journey for the first season of The Smuggler's Log. Of course, there is much more to the story of Varen Dontic and his amazing crew. We have a crack team of data scientists who are working hard at restoring more of Dontic's logs. Remember, a simple boost here and there, or a direct value-for-value contribution, will usher those data scientists along. We are very close to a complete log of the mission to locate the Schwasta Canadian Forward Operating Base. What dastardly deeds were perpetuated and foiled in those logs? Find out next season on The Smuggler's Log. Remember to refresh your podcast queue at the usual time next week for a special release of the unedited recording of The Smuggler's Log. Production and story by Christopher Meacham. Voice acting by Donna Wood and Christopher Meacham. Artwork by NattieKay Petrucka. Audio editing by Christopher Meacham. Our entrepreneurial sponsors include Anonymous Supporters, Dreb Scott, Van Man Jr., AbleKirby, harvhat, and Baroness Love and Light. Sound effects provided by Planet Earth Productions, TRIUNE Films. Pacific Digital Video at pacdv.com/sounds. And multiple participants at freesound.org, including Kyle S., Dav0R, and Dobroide. Modifications were made to some of the sounds provided by freesound.org. The Smuggler's Log is an audio drama produced in association with Planet Earth Productions. TheSmugglersLog.com